Hey y'all, my name is Miss Moore. I will be your 7th and 8th grade English Language Arts teacher this year. I just wanted to pop in though and give you some helpful tips on how to be successful this year in Google Meets. So I'm not going to make this video very long, but I want you to listen and just really take in what I'm saying. There are 4 things that you can do to make Google Meets a successful place of learning if you follow these just 4 steps. You can do it. The first thing is you need to come to Google Meet prepared. So what does that mean? It means you need to have your computer and your computer charged. Maybe even have your charger right there by an outlet, so just in case something weird happens, you can just plug up your computer and you don't have to worry about it dying on you. And then also, I think it'd be so important if you brought a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen so that while you're in the Google Meet, you can write down the information that the teacher's providing or that other students are providing as well. So just make sure you're coming prepared. In addition to coming prepared, if your meeting starts at 10 o'clock, you don't start logging in at 10 o'clock. You need to start logging in about 9:55. So about 5 minutes before your meeting starts, go ahead, get on your computer, go to ClassLink, go to Schoology, find your Google Meet code, start logging in. You might be the first one there, but guess what? People are going to soon start popping in, and then you'll be ready. So the teacher's not waiting on you, other students aren't waiting on you, and we're all in and we're all starting at the same time. The second bit of information that you need in order to be successful is to be an active, respectful participant and listener. So an active listener and participant is someone who is sitting up straight. I don't care where you're at, if you're on a desk or if you're in your bed or whatever, but you're sitting up straight, you're looking into the camera, and your focus is on the Google Meet. It's not at the TV, it's not on your phone, it's nowhere else. That you are actively paying attention to what's happening in this Google Meet. So you're sitting up straight, you're looking at the camera. Another way in which you can be an active participant is by taking notes. Like I said in the first part, bring a notepad and a pencil. That way, if you have questions, you can write them down. Or if you're like, oh, that's good information, I need to write that down so I remember later. That way, you're not having to just remember it in your head. You can go back to your notes and refresh your memory. And then even sometimes I find that just the act of writing it down, and actually this is like research-based information, but if you write something down, you're so much more likely to remember that information versus if you just hear it audibly. So get that pen, get that piece of paper, and take notes as you're in the Google Meet. Another way to be an active listener is by being respectful of the person presenting or the peer speaking and having your video on mute. So you know from last year we had the mute and the video button. You'll have your video open so that we can see you, but you'll have your voice muted or your audio muted so we don't hear your fan in the background or maybe the dog barking in the background. That way we can just focus in on what the teacher is saying or the student who is speaking. So when it's your turn, unmute yourself. But when it's not your turn, have it muted so that we're all not distracted by the noises that are going on in your house. So like I just said, we kind of are expecting you to have your video on and yourself muted. So as far as the video goes, that's going to be so important. If we can see you and you can see others, you can read other people's body language. So if someone is taking notes and you're noticing, wow, all of my friends, all of my peers, they're taking notes right now, I probably need to start taking notes right now too. And so that works just like in real world classroom. It works the same way in Google Meet. You can read other people's body language. You can even look and say, wow, my peers look really confused right now. Maybe we should ask a question. You know, it really is helpful. Body language is just as powerful as verbal language. So keep your videos on, read the room, and it will help you out and help you become more successful. The third thing that can help you is make use of the chat feature. I know for me personally in my classroom, I'm going to designate a student helper who's going to be the person to read the questions in the comments. Now, is the chat section for playing around, goofing off? No. We're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is ask academic on-topic questions. Is your question going to be answered immediately? Probably not. Maybe sometimes it will be. But the chat is a great way for you to say, okay, I have a question about what Miss Moore or Miss Spencer or whoever is talking about, and I'm going to type it in here. And then that way it's there. The teacher's going to see it. They may not answer it immediately, but they will get to it. So use that chat feature. You don't always have to unmute yourself to ask a question. You could just type it in the chat section. Just make sure it's only about school and that there's no playing going on in the chat. And the last and final bit of information I have for you is just to make sure that you have a space in your home that is distraction free. I know we are going to have a little bit of distractions, but if you have your phone right here beside you, it's probably not the best thing in the world. You probably should just put that phone in another room. You have the technology you need in front of you to work, so just get that out of the room. You only are doing school for a certain amount of hours a day, so you can look at your phone later in the morning or in the late afternoon, but during school time, that phone is away. You're not texting your friends, you're not looking at TikTok or anything else. You are just focused in on school. If you have maybe a dog or a cat or something like that that's going to be distracting, or a TV, get those things away as best as you can in your house. Whatever your situation is, try to find a space that's quiet, that's calm, and that's going to allow you to focus in on what your teachers are delivering and what your peers are saying. Alright guys, so that's all the tips I have for today. So if you have any questions, you can just shoot me a message. Otherwise, that's all I have. Bye-bye.